Should you post 3 to 5 times a day on your social media accounts for your business, or should you instead invest those time and resource dependent variables into producing paid ads and running it as an advertising system? Today, we're gonna talk about that. And I know that you've probably seen on the internet a piece of content from, say, Gary Vaynerchuk that basically says, you need to post 1 million pieces of content a day in order to grow your business in 2023. And I'm here to tell you that that's not correct. It is a path that you can take, but there are other ones out there. And today specifically, we're going to be comparing the difference between organic versus paid acquisition for your business. You might just expect me to come out and say that the best path is actually to do both, because that's what most large brands are doing. And yes, technically that's the best path, but it doesn't mean it's the best path for you. If you're a small business, maybe a one-man shop, and you don't have tens of thousands of dollars just lying around, you're gonna have to make a decision on what area you're going to invest more resources in. In this video, I'm going to help you make that decision for your business, so in the future, you're eventually at a point where it does make sense to push for both organic and paid for your business acquisition. So the first question that I'll ask to you, and it's basically going to determine everything: do you, as a leader in your business, have more time or more money to dispense to save time? Do you have an extra 2-3 hours a day available to you if you want to start a new side project, if you want to start a new customer acquisition channel, or are you already capped out on your hours each day and now you would much rather invest a little bit of extra money into saving your time and freeing up your bandwidth? Because here's the thing, I won't sugarcoat it. Building a following on social media, regardless of what channel you choose, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or all of the above, it's going to take a lot of time and commitment, and I'm talking years. The only chance you have of really succeeding quick in the content space is if you magically have a viral video just pop off randomly, and that's really unpredictable, and ultimately you shouldn't base your entire production strategy around that. Paid ads, on the other hand, well, you can turn paid ads on tomorrow, spend $1,000 a day, and instantly get more results for your business. It's completely different. But my point is, organic content is basically a slow, tedious process, whereas paid ads, you turn them on and you instantly get data, insights, and results. Both strategies can work incredibly well, and when you combine the two, it amplifies the effect of both of them. So which one should you choose? Well, if the answer to the original question that I mentioned a few minutes ago was I have more time to devote to my business rather than financial resources, then I would suggest that you go ahead and start building an organic content following, because it takes a couple hours a day to get it right, and eventually you're gonna wanna build a system so you can delegate it out. Better to start now than later. However, on the other side of things, if you have financial resources available to you in the business and you're kind of bogged down with a ton of different things going on, then I would definitely suggest going the paid ads route, because you'll be able to instantly spend some money and very quickly be able to get data, insights, and results for the money that you just spent acquiring new customers, new leads, whatever your business objective is. Now let's talk about a basic fundamental strategy for organic and for paid, because regardless of which one you choose, you need to have strategy and the execution in mind so you do it properly, so you don't waste time, you don't waste money. For organic content, there's 3 core concepts that I really need you to understand. Number 1 is going to be creating contextual content to the platform that you're posting on, meaning if you were to write a tweet on Twitter, or now x.com, the way that you would transfer the content on Twitter into, say, a YouTube video would be completely different, because the users are on different platforms for different reasons. The same thing would go if you were to transfer a LinkedIn post to Instagram. You might not have the same caption, you might word things a little bit differently, and overall the user on those platforms are very different from each other. Number 2 is going to be consistency. And what I mean by this is you need to be posting every single day for at least 1 to 2 years with no expectation of anything in return. And that is something that 99.9% of you guys out there are not going to do, along with all of the other business owners that see all of these business accounts and these entrepreneurs with a ton of followers. They think it's just an overnight thing. You post for a couple weeks and you instantly have a following. No, maybe 10 years ago when nobody was doing it, but now the competition is so high and it's so saturated that you're gonna have to put in a ton of time and effort if you want to grow an organic following. And lastly, number 3 is going to be provide value. That's the key, because the value content is what's going to rank in things like the explore feed or home feed. If you're providing value to a specific audience, the algorithms on all of these platforms are gonna see that, and it's gonna start promoting that content because users are engaging and showing that they actually enjoyed consuming whatever you're putting out. The last thing somebody wants to see is a person that they've never interacted with post about their dog or their favorite place to eat food, unless your business is about rating restaurants, but that's a very niche specific subject. You need to provide value in the industry and the niche that you're in. Moving over to paid ads, there's also 3 things that you need to keep in the back of your mind. Number 1, it's not an on or off switch. If you decide that you want to run paid media, you need to dedicate at least 3 months of full ad spend towards it. That's my recommendation, because ultimately when you're starting from scratch, ground zero, and the Facebook algorithm or the TikTok algorithm or the Google algorithm, they don't have an idea of who your ideal customer is, and results and performance in those early days, even at low budget, is gonna be really hard to keep up with. So you need to stick with it. You need to have a set budget that you're willing to part ways with for at least that 3-month period. Typically speaking, that's gonna be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month in ad spend for 3 months. So that's basically $9,000 to $15,000 of total ad spend. You gotta let that run, you gotta let the ads optimize, and then make a decision at the end of that 3-month period whether or not those ads are useful for your business. Number 2 is going to be investing in the creation of content and creative. What I'm specifically talking about here is if you're using a social platform like Meta or TikTok or even Google Display, you want to invest in the creative. You want to have very good videos, you want to have some static images designed. It's a separate fee and a separate cost, and ultimately a separate skill to get really good at, but you need to develop new creative all the time, because the creative is the #1 variable you have at your disposal to increase or decrease the performance of your ads. And lastly, number 3 for paid media, you need to think about the entire customer journey. You can optimize your ad account and your ad creative perfectly, but if the customer journey is broken somewhere, or they're not interacting with your website, or maybe your website's broken and it's not working, or the bounce rate is high, then the customer journey is gonna get cut in half and your ads are gonna be unprofitable. So you have to think from start point to finish point, how is my customer progressing through my funnel? And you have to pinpoint each of the sections that they're going to drop at and optimize them to the best of your ability. All right, so that's the debate, organic versus paid. Yes, ultimately you should be doing both for your business, but as a new business owner and as a young entrepreneur even, you don't have the time and or capital usually to do both at the same time effectively. And so hopefully this video helped you out on determining whether or not you should invest in paid ads or that organic content machine that's gonna take 1 to 2 years. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like rating down below. Leave a comment if you have a different opinion to the one that I gave in this video. I'm always open for the discussion. And sign up to my newsletter if you're interested in running paid media for your own business or maybe for other businesses. I send out a weekly newsletter every Saturday that covers some in-depth tactical and strategical information about how to run ads on Meta and TikTok, because that is what I do. I manage spend for clients on social media. All right, until next time, guys, take care.